Maddie, you look different today.
Oh yeah, Matt couldn't be here. So he said I could fill in for him as part of my community service. My name's Mitch.
What's up, Mitch? How's it going?
It's all right.
Okay.
I have to do 500 hours and I got 3. So this should
Is
be
the
like 1, I think.
is the podcast known to the legal community as something that is community service
Yeah,
worthy?
yeah, I heard it's like educational. It's like
Yeah.
Car Talk or like NPR. So like
I
they
thought-
said I could probably like get my record sponged if I do it.
It's like you're volunteering with troubled youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like so I think if I like do enough stuff, they like sponge my record, and so I'm like good because I got convicted as a juvenile, so like it's probably chill.
What did you get convicted of?
I was convicted of firebombing a Sephora at the Tri-State Mall.
For political reasons or?
No, I didn't do it, but I didn't do it, but if I did, if whoever did probably did it because Sandra, who goes to my community college, got arrested by mall cops for shoplifting, and so whoever did it probably did it because they wanted to like avenge her because she's like a cool baddie.
Was she impressed with that?
I don't, Sandra, if you were impressed, if you hear, I have the phone number of the guy who did it. He taunts me like the Zodiac because he did it and he knows I didn't do it, but I took the rap for it. So have his phone number, Sandra, if you think he's cool for doing that.
You have his phone number, but you haven't turned him in to
I don't.
clear your name?
He just taunts me. He taunts me like the Zodiac, dude.
I see. This is not unlike the
Zodiac.
Yeah, it's like the California, with the circle and he's
Yeah. The
Uh-huh.
astrological killer guy.
yeah.
invented the inflatable rafts.
They
right?
they named a Final Fantasy boss after him because he was so cool because he evaded them.
Okay.
And then elected to senator, a U.S. senator from Texas.
Whoa.
The Zodiac.
How do you know Matt?
Oh, we go like way back. We have like a mutual friend who's like really cool who like used to know my girlfriend Katie, but like she got like Katie's just like she's like super cool, but she's like really Christian, so like she doesn't hang out with the people she used to like hang out with, but like but like me and Matt just like we just knew a bunch of the same people, and like he heard I was in a tough spot and he said I could come over and like hit the oh yeah, that's right, I'm supposed to record this. Oh, good. Oh, we're all right. I think it's going. Ah, cool. Okay. Never done this before.
Mitch,
Yeah.
do you know anything about cars?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, totally. Uh-huh.
What do you drive?
I can't right now. I kind of like I lost my keys privileges to my stepdad's Subaru Outback. I had them for a while, and now I don't on account of my conviction, my wrongful conviction.
The Sephora thing.
It's my defense attorney's fault. He showed up in Heelys, and I thought he was really swag, but we did lose.
And how familiar?
sucks.
Yeah. Did you know right away when you saw the shoes that you were fucked?
Nah, I thought he was like cool. I thought he he seemed like down, and then he was like, Your Honor, my client should probably plead out on this, and he has declined to because like I didn't like do it, but we did lose. We lost pretty bad. They're not like points, but like I could tell we lost really bad.
So, do you know anything about the RPM podcast? Have you listened to the RPM podcast before?
I heard a little bit of the Matt showed me some of the one with the Halloween stories because he said it was really funny. I heard that one. I heard about like the ghost. That's cool.
Ghost.
Yeah.
It's basically it's about horsepower and going fast and how to make your car go fast and how to make other cars go fast. It's about power. It's about power in the automotive sense, and then also like in the masculine sense of having power over the people who are in your life, and your boss, and your familial relations and stuff. So I think
Katie's always telling me that. That sounds true.
Yeah. It'll be good, I think, probably for you in your situation to just spend some time with Peter and that's why. And we can actually, the name's fine because it's RPM because it's Rory, Peter, Maddie usually, but Rory, Peter, Mitch is fine too, which also stands for rotations per minute. Is that right?
Revolutions
per minute.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
which
cool.
is
That's like Sonic Forces. That's crazy. There's revolutions in the engine, dude.
Yeah, it's the number of times in the engine spins. Also, like I don't know if you heard too, but the podcast is somewhat like politically radical. We're libertarian, obviously, and it's about revolutions in the sense of like liberating yourself from the tyranny of big government and the state.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But that's what it's about, and it's like I said, it's about power, and like having power over people who are less than you and who are like less, intellectually powerful than you. So that's what it's about. I hope you enjoy being on it, and I hope you're down with those ideas. We talk a lot about like Ayn Rand and stuff. That's mostly what we talk about is Ayn Rand, I think.
Cool. I don't know who that is, but that sounds cool to me. Sick.
She's the coolest old lady in the world, and
wow. Okay. Damn.
yeah.
Okay.
And she's also super hot.
What? She's a babe.
Another thing to another thing.
She's still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, we're supposed to be educational. Let me go find out.
It's on the wiki.
And
yeah, one of the things that we do on the podcast is just read from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
A lot. That.
She died in 1982.
Oh man. Well, yeah, and it's not a huge coincidence. I don't think that I was born in 1982. So I think
it could be the reincarnation. You could have a little bit of her spirit,
her swag. Yeah.
Then the fountainhead, like a guy whose head is a fountain. Yeah, that's really deep. Like a fountain.
She died. Wow. Well, how many months? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 9 months before I was born. She died 9 months, almost to the day before I was born. That is, I did not know that. So more than likely, yeah, that explains why the RPM podcast has become so powerful and so libertarian, because of my obviously being a reincarnation, at least in part, of Ayn Rand.
Yeah, that's like, Sun Tzu once said in The Art of War that simulated disorder postulates perfect discipline, and simulated fear postulates courage, and simulated weakness postulates strength. So that's like totally what we got going on.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So usually at this point in the podcast, we have a guest today, so we probably won't do this, but we do talk about like mods that you can do to your car. And like, it's tough because like, it's a podcast and it's, we don't know usually what cars our listeners have. So we just will talk about like, you could do, if you had a 2006 Honda Civic, you could do a cold air intake. And that would get you more power.
I mean, pretty much anything you can do a cold air intake on, or at least like a K&N filter, like one of those.
Kit. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's just kind of like
cheap horsepower, man.
Yeah, it's probably 50-60% more power. Sounds sweet. It looks awesome under the hood. You can get them at AutoZone or wherever, and that's like if you look at most race cars, like Formula One cars, they all have the same cold air intake, obviously, that you would the same kind you can get anywhere, and that's why they do it.
Put that on an Outback.
Yeah, for sure. Your dad would probably give you the keys back if you.
He's not my dad. He's my stepdad. He's
Oh,
my
sorry.
stepdad. Yeah.
He would you say he's the dad that stepped up though?
No,
Okay. Do you not have a great relationship with him?
it's fun.
Do you want to talk about it on the pod?
No, I'm good. I talked to Katie a lot about it. She said I just have to like trust in God more about it, which seems like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. I think, what's his background? Where does he come from?
He was in the Marines, but like he was
That's
bad at
cool.
it, so they made him leave after like 2
Yeah,
years.
I mean, a lot of guys are bad at being the Marines, but at least he, stepped up to serve his country
Yeah.
more than I can say.
He works at GameStop.
That's cool. Do you get a discount?
No, not anymore.
Does he get a discount?
I think so.
Can you?
Does
you
he
can't
like
use it.
manage it or?
Nah, he just works at the counter.
That's cool. Does he know a lot about games then?
Nah.
So he's not qualified.
No, I mean, I think I'd be really good at it, but like, he doesn't want like advice about how to be like better at his job for but I like know a lot about like Halo and stuff. I think I should work there instead, but they wouldn't
Gonna
hire
say it.
me.
I mean, did you ever show him like Call of Duty or something? with one of
Yeah,
those?
dude, we played Ghost. I try to show him, and he's like, this moves too fast. I don't know what's going on. I want to play Mario.
Do you think that's something you guys could connect over?
I don't know, man. I've like tried, but he doesn't want to play like. I put like the Master Chief collection, and he doesn't want to like. He's like, oh, this is complicated. This is tough. But like, then he goes and works at GameStop. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, it
crazy.
just to me that feels like a really good opportunity for you guys to form a relationship, and I think like that's a way too that he can see something that you're good at, something that you know about. You know what I mean? You can kind of demonstrate some capability or mastery to him. I feel like that's probably like a huge opportunity. If you said your relationship with him is not great.
So I should beat his ass at Halo, and we'd probably get along better.
I wouldn't start off beating his ass. I mean, I think maybe
I did
like
beat his ass at paintball. I think he doesn't like me because of that.
yeah, that's probably not super
He was
helpful.
he was really bad at it though. It was pretty funny.
How did him and your mom meet?
Oh man, heck if I know. She just kind of showed up one day and was like, "Hey man, this is your new dad. He's cool."
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
Do you know your previous dad at all?
Not really.
Your
But-
birth dad?
Yeah, nah.
That's too bad. So this man is in your life. He is supporting your mother, supporting you with the job at GameStop.
Yeah.
But I do feel like, you would be better off. He would be better off if you guys could form some kind of, at least have an understanding of like, who you are and what's important to you.
I hope so.
Yeah. Does he like cars? What's his name?
Dave.
Does he like cars?
He likes his Outback, I guess. He says it's practical. He says it's like he likes it. It has a lot of space.
Yeah. Sounds like a great guy, to be honest with me. I mean, I feel like maybe this is an attitude problem on your end.
Damn, man. You don't have to call me out like that.
I'm just saying, like that's the way it's feeling to me. He seems responsible. And
I mean, the thing the thing with parents, and especially with step parents, I mean, it is like it's a weird situation to navigate, especially as an older, not a child. But it's like, you do have to recognize that your parents are people. They're humans.
Yeah.
They're trying to find their way through life just like anyone else. And so maybe just it sounds, I don't want to sound preachy or anything, but maybe just try to have a little bit of compassion towards him and understand where he's coming from, and
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's maybe had a bit of a rough time just, getting kicked out of the Marines and having this job that it sounds like he's maybe not that invested in, but he's making that sacrifice for you and your mom,
Do you know why he got kicked out of the Marines?
Nah. I thought he'd like Halo because it's like Space Marines, and they have like Cortana, and she's like a computer. She talks and stuff, and she's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's traumatizing.
Should I like let him win it, Halo? Would that help?
I think approaching it with the spirit of like, I'm going to help you get better at this. I'm going to help you understand this so that you can be better professionally. I think that would be my approach to it. I don't know if you have to let him win, but I think I think he will be impressed. Like if it's something that you're good at and something that you care about, I think I think that will endear him to you, or like at least demonstrate that you're, not just good at not firebombing Sephora. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, whoever did it did a really good job. It burned up like really good. Because there's lots of chemicals in there, and like
I was gonna say there's a lot of flammable.
Yeah, those mall cops looked real dumb.
Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but Mitch, do you happen to know? Did Maddie mention to you whether this episode is a Patreon episode or if it's a free one?
I think he said this is like a regular one, because he said with the Patreon he has to make like a trailer and say I wouldn't have to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, so we've been doing this podcast for what, like 6 months, maybe more.
Whoa.
And we've it seems like we have an audience and people that listen and pitch in, for which we're super grateful. But and this was something that, I mean, I wish that Maddie were here to hear this. Maybe Mitch, you can fill him in. But Rory, I mean, this pertains to you as well. And it's something that just kind of came up like in the last few weeks, but basically I was approached by some guys from a private equity company, and they're buying us out.
Wow.
And
Whoa.
We're getting it's kind of like a hostile takeover kind of thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, it will mean kind of, I mean, the way they sold it to me was that, like, it'll mean more funding for us. I mean, that's the other thing is our I mean, I didn't mention this before, but our USAID money like kind of got turned off too, so that's something that we were leaning on.
Whoa.
And so with the new administration and all of those cuts and things going on, so we're kind of between a rock and a hard place, and with these with the private equity guys, it just seemed like maybe this is the best option. But I think it's going to be good going forward for you guys. The one thing, well, there's a few things that they don't want it to be the RPM podcast name. They kind of want to do like a little bit of a rebrand.
New logo.
And
cool.
And they're also, I mean, like AI is kind of like it's kind of like the big, like the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the future.
Yeah. So they are going to replace me with AI.
Whoa.
Great.
Which sounds not so great. And the thing is, like, and it, I mean, it's kind of a bummer for me because I have, I've enjoyed doing this. I've enjoyed hanging out with Rory and Maddie and you too, Mitch.
Thanks, brother.
But I do think, I mean, I think we should keep an open mind, and I I'll be here for this episode, but they did send me some of these. Well, I mean, it's an integrated podcasting module that I can just turn on.
Yeah.
And
modular.
And it will activate the AI, and it will kind of introduce the new kind of vision for the podcast. So,
wow. I mean, I think before you do it, I want to say, like, as a libertarian, I think it's like kind of our highest calling to be really like ground in the gears of this stuff. And I think, like, private equity, obviously incredible. Nothing but admiration for private equity as a concept and like in practice, like, and then AI. I mean, God, like, could it get any better? Like the great minds, I think, maybe of all history are involved. I saw today, like on X, the everything. I was paying my mortgage on there, and I was on there, and Sam Altman was like, "Everyone's mad at me. I'm so upset."
The goat.
Yeah, just a genius. And he's like, I'm trying to cure cancer with AI. And then he's like, everyone's mad at me, and it's so upsetting. And then, like, you see, like, it can do like Studio Ghibli stuff. Like, there's like some of the guys were having their avatars like replaced with Studio Ghibli, and it's like, it's like, it's incredible. I mean, it's like,
it's a super alpha move to show your girlfriend
fuck cancer,
Studio
fuck
Ghibli.
curing cancer.
Yeah,
it's like, let me see drawings that look like that. Like, let me see Peter from Family Guy as the Studio Ghibli character. Like, that's like, that's what it's about. That's like,
sick.
Like I said, it's like that. It's so sick. And it's also just like, what is the point of humanity, and like, what are we striving for, if not to have like a photo turned into a drawing, like, and like have more fingers than you'd usually have. Like, it's just, I mean, to me, it's like I said, it's an honor to be ground up in the gears of this stuff, and to be like turned into a paste for.
I mean, I just see it as kind of like a noble sacrifice, just for the progress of humanity,
Chris for the mill, man,
and for the greater good and the glory,
Yeah, whoever this private equity guy is, he sounds cool. Thank you, Mr. Equity, for buying the company.
Cool.
Yeah, and thank you for having so much money. It's so cool that you have that much
Thanks,
money.
Mr. Equity.
Totally.
That's a cool name. Private Equity. Probably from somewhere else. That's a cool name.
It's French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm very passionate about this stuff, as you can tell. So I'm sorry I kind of interrupted there, but
no, it's true.
No,
like,
it's all right.
It's important.
I had to speak my truth.
That AI art stuff is neat. Like, I think Katie doesn't like it because she's like, "Oh, people are gonna steal my ideas. That I draw them better than anybody." Because like she does stuff that other people don't draw, and she's like, "Cool." But like I keep telling her like, "Nah, it's great because now you can make like 20 pictures in like a minute." And they're even better.
Like somebody who doesn't know how to draw can make pictures.
Yeah.
Like, more importantly,
I could make a picture.
That's the thing. You just type it in.
Yeah. I could make pictures of Final Fantasy characters going to church. Katie doesn't have to draw it anymore. So like now she has more free time.
Yeah. And some of this stuff is just like, you can, if you Google, like, a lot of times I'll go on Google or X or whatever and just type in AI art and just look at it.
Yeah.
For 6-8 hours, and like a lot of it's super trippy, obviously. There's a lot of colors, and then like, just like some of the people are super hot, and some of them are like kind of fucked up looking, and like some of them have wings and stuff. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
I mean, I don't even listen to like recorded music anymore. I just listen to like it's like the AI music stuff. It's way, I mean, I think it's just like way catchier. It's way, just doesn't have like the kind of like the weird kind of rough edges or just like annoying things. Yeah. Like there's lots of things like when I listen to most, music, that it's just like a little bit annoying. Like even if I like it, like there's always like something that's a little bit annoying. And it's like with the AI stuff, it kind of gets rid of that.
And it's cool too to just be like, instead of having to listen to like some other dumbasses, like his idea of what a song would be and like what it would be about, it's like, write me a song about this thing that I want, like specifically. Right. And like, and you just get it. And it sounds like, if you tell it to write a country song, it sounds just like country. And if you tell it to write a reggaeton song, it sounds just like reggaeton. And it's like, it's just perfect every time. And it's about the things that you care about, not some other guy's stuff.
Right. And it doesn't have those annoying things,
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, should I activate this module?
Yeah.
Let's
hear.
I want to see podcast Cortana.
Let's hear the feature. I'm excited about it.
Cool, man.
Welcome back to Tired, the car podcast for people who understand that cars are bad. I'm Peter Hughes, here with my co-hosts Rory Carroll and Maddie Riley. And if you've ever found yourself trapped in traffic, staring at an endless sea of brake lights, wondering why we built our entire world around these loud, dangerous, expensive machines, congratulations. You're in the right place. Each episode, we dig into the ways car culture has shaped our cities, our climate, and our lives, for better or, let's be honest, mostly worse. We'll talk about the history, the politics, the absurdity, and yes, the occasional joy of driving, all while dreaming of a world where we don't have to. Today, we're diving into 3 subjects that are sure to raise our ire, and possibly some eyebrows as well.
Whoa.
Because whether you drive, bike, walk, or take the bus, we all have to deal with the mess that cars have made. Let's get into it.
Whoa.
That's
interesting.
I mean,
it's definitely different from what we've been doing.
Honestly, kind of a little edgy to me. Like, I don't want to criticize the AI because obviously it's still learning, but like politics, and I think like, for us, like on this show, like, yes, we're libertarian, and yes, we'd like to go fast, but like we're here to talk about horsepower and like, and going fast and having fun. And like, I don't, it just doesn't, to me, it's like, do we have to talk about the other stuff that's like not as fun,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like they kind of alluded to this when I talked to them, like that they kind of wanted to kind of complicate it a little bit and kind of address like some other issues, just kind of broaden the appeal of the show because maybe not everybody like is as into cars as we are, which I don't know anybody who's not into cars, but so I don't know, like maybe they just think that like this will be good for our numbers going forward.
I mean, I have heard that like if you want to, do popular stuff on the internet, it's important to like make it kind of like as anodyne as possible and just like not have perspective or like opinions on anything. Like that's kind of the advice that I've always been given. I guess I'm surprised to hear like,
well they seem to think that there might be like a niche kind of for something that is maybe like a little bit edgier. I don't know. I mean,
Sun Tzu once said that standing on the defensive indicates insufficient strength.
Sorry, Mitch.
Yeah.
We're kind of discussing this. I know you're like kind of you're a guest today, so like Peter and I were kind of talking about this.
Well, I'm kind of curious. So I mean, I don't know that much about.
I don't want to blow up your spot, but it's just like, you know, you're not going to be here at the next episode, and me and AI Peter will be here on the next episode, and this is going to be my thing to deal with, you know what I mean? Like me and Maddie's thing to deal with. But go ahead with the Sun Tzu's thing. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so Sun Tzu said that standing on the defensive indicates insufficient strength and attacking a superabundance of strength. So like maybe being more edgy is like showing your power, that you're like, I don't give a can we swear on the show? I don't give a hoot about what people, yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to swear on the conditions of your release.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That sounds true.
Pretty sure they
your community service.
The F1 guys can't swear, so like that's maybe that. What if that guy like owns the court that sent me here too? I don't know. He has a lot of money. Damn.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you know who controls all that stuff, right?
No.
You should look into it. Google it.
I wonder what Sun Tzu would.
A lot of our fellow libertarians have a lot of ideas about who's really in charge of that stuff.
Yeah,
I'll have to look.
That might be why I'm getting edged out.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see if Sun Tzu says anything about who's in charge. You guys keep talking.
Who's really in charge?
Well, there's a next part here.
Oh, good. Okay, maybe it'll be better this time.
Pull this up. Yeah.
Welcome back to Tired, the car podcast for people who understand that cars are bad. The only show brave enough to say what we're all thinking. Personal
here we go.
cars are a scam. Tesla is a cult. And honestly, the Soviets kinda had the right idea. Today's episode is a fun one. We're talking about 1. Angle grinders, the hold my beer of power tools. 2. Tesla's Silicon Valley's four-wheeled Ponzi scheme. 3. Soviet cars, maligned by capitalists, but honestly, better than the garbage we have today. So, sit back, relax, and maybe go stare at a nice walkable neighborhood in Google Maps while you cry about how your city is designed to make you suffer. First up, let's talk about a tool so dangerous it should probably be illegal: angle grinders. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good piece of proletarian power equipment. But an angle grinder? That's not a tool. That's a barely restrained explosion held together by duct tape and bad decisions. This thing spins at 12,000 RPM and does not give a single fuck about what it's cutting. Metal, concrete, your fingers, your kneecap, your hopes and dreams. If you so much as sneeze while using one, you might find yourself permanently adjusting your life goals to accommodate a missing hand. That said, let's be real. The reason angle grinders are so common is because capitalism refuses to provide us with decent infrastructure. If roads weren't built to self-destruct after 5 years, if public transportation wasn't gutted so car manufacturers could make a buck, if people weren't forced into car ownership just to participate in society, maybe we wouldn't need to slice and dice our cars in the driveway just to keep them running. So, if you must use an angle grinder, wear your fucking safety gear. But also, take a moment to reflect on why you even need one in the first place. It's not you, it's capitalism.
Damn,
I
don't know where this is coming from.
I don't about it like that.
I don't agree, obviously, with the AIs. I mean, it sounds like the AI is a little bit of kind of like a statist, to be honest, which is obviously like outside of our normal thing, but like,
right.
But I will say it's a lot smarter and funnier than you, Peter, and it has like a very fun, like how it says, "Let's be real." I mean, like that's like very current, you know what I mean? Like, and it's very like hip to talk like that. Like you don't talk like that ever. Like you talk like a normal guy. And like, I mean,
I'm much older. I'm much older than the AI. So
the AI is just,
I don't have the cool lingo.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's so edgy and like fresh to hear, you know, that type of language. I guess it's, What's up, Mitch? You don't have to raise your hand.
Hey, what's an is it angle grinder like? Is that like for doctors? Like then they're doing like bone surgery or something like on your ankle? Like what is it? Is that
You can use it for surgery.
Wow.
It's not an ankle grinder. It's an angle grinder.
Yeah.
But you could cut theoretically, or really even in practice, you could use it to
Cut yourself.
cut your ankle.
Flesh.
You can pretty much cut your foot off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
With an angle grinder.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Mitch, again, I know you're kind of like a guest on this, but like if you need to get our attention, you can just hit the balloons and the balloons will come up in your screen.
Like that? It doesn't
no
do
one
it
knows.
for me.
Yeah.
No, you have to do it.
Like,
you have to do it like the girls in the you have to. It's supposedly I saw on the internet. Like you do
the
two
girls.
Yeah. But
no.
What?
There you go. Yes, Peter.
I was just looking at the buttons down below,
Whoa,
and I realized there's a raise your hand button in the thing. Oh,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before.
Yeah. But yeah, the AI, like I said, it's fresh, it's with it, and like, it kind of like speaks to a younger generation. I think like it just the kind of patterns and like the vocabulary is just like, honestly,
that's the thing. Like
so
these,
smart,
it's like these fucking private equity guys. Like they seem pretty on it, and it's like as bummed as I am, about getting kind of relegated. Again, it's kind of like
it's an honor.
It's what's best for the pod, and ultimately, I think what's best for
the world,
for humanity. It's just for me to step aside and let the AI, do its job, do our jobs.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it is such an honor to have my like presence and like my output as a human creative person subsumed by a bigger, more important, smarter machine, like A, private equity, and then B, AI. Like it just feels like,
I mean, that's the thing. Like these private equity guys, they know the deal. They know that
how
they're
to
next,
make the money.
right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like they understand that it's like they too will be superseded by the AI.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think like
what's the term? Like the it's like when the thing happens.
The singularity.
The singularity. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that.
Do you know about that, Mitch? The singularity.
Yeah. They talk about that on some other podcasts that
Ray Kurzweil's
they play at
podcast.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard it on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think but yeah, it's such an honor, and it's such a like. It feels like I said. It feels like it's like being like the little dog that got shot into space. It's like you don't come back from space. You die in a frozen vacuum. I think that's what happened to the dog, right?
Leica.
Yeah, Leica got frozen to death, right?
They put
Died
a dog in space.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dogs up there.
Oh, that's.
I was just reading. No, I was just reading though the other day about how most of the dogs that they put into space came back because the whole point of that was to
see if they could come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who died up there? The monkey?
Leica. Leica.
Like
That-
a
Which
what?
dog?
That's
Like a what?
Oh,
that's
Leica did die though.
yeah. No, Leica went. Leica stayed in space. Leica
Yes.
made the sacrifice, just
Yeah,
like
she-
we will all make
Yes, exactly. And
we're
it's a
going to
great honor.
space?
for technology.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Let's go to space.
Mitch, you mentioned your work. What do you do for work exactly?
It's complicated.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. How would you describe it in a simple way?
I make like a ghostwrite SoundCloud beats for other guys, but like they say I can't like transfer them electronically because of taxes. I have to put them on a flash drive and bring them to them for cash. And like
there's another job that'd be perfect to put the AI could do that job too.
Oh fuck. Oh
You should
shit,
think
I
about that.
swore. Oh damn it. Fuck. God
No,
damn it.
it would be good.
Don't tell the
though,
judge I swore.
because then you could
Don't
do
tell the
other
judge I
stuff.
swore on the educational podcast for children.
He probably does not listen. He might listen to this actually. But that would be great. You could do whatever you want if someone else would make your beats.
But how would I make money?
You don't worry about it. You don't have to make money.
Oh,
Yeah, you're sacrificing. That's the point.
okay.
For like, yeah.
I think. I mean, they're gonna come in with UBI at some point.
Yeah.
So
With what?
UBI, like a universal basic income, so that way
Oh.
we can just, and nobody has to work because the AI is doing everything. So we all just like get like some money so that we can pay our landlords and the banks that hold our mortgages and
Whoa.
the supermarkets where we need to buy food and
Universal based income. That'd be sick.
right. I mean, it's a much better idea than because that way, people can kind of keep collecting rents, and various corporations can kind of skim it at every level rather than if you were just to like decommoditize like housing or food or
Obviously,
healthcare or whatever.
yeah, that's communist.
Which is just stupid.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
stupid.
that wouldn't make sense. But this way, kind of everything can kind of stay the same. But the AI is just kind of doing the work.
Yeah. Yeah. And like obviously
It's cool.
like we all, to do like even this podcast, like we all knew that, our folks would give us like the $500,000 to start this. And then like we got all the COVID loans, whatever.
The USAID money.
And then we got on the USAID stuff, which is like, again, all ideas that we had because we're like job creator type.
Should we go to the next segment?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the computer want us to do? What's Cortana say?
All right, moving on. Let's talk about Tesla, the car company that proves marketing is more powerful than reality. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Tesla is saving the planet. Yeah, tell that to the kids mining lithium in the global south, so Elon can lark as a sci-fi genius while the battery in your $60,000 car degrades after 5 years. Let's start with build quality. If you've ever gotten up close to a Tesla, you've probably noticed that it's held together with hope and venture capital. Panel gaps wide enough to smuggle a raccoon. Paint jobs that chip if you look at them too hard. Windshields that randomly shatter because Tesla refuses to use proper tempered glass. And steering wheels? Oh, they just fall off sometimes. Then there's full self-driving. Or, as it should be called, rich people beta testing their death machines on the poor. Tesla drivers love to act like their car is an AI genius. Meanwhile, reality looks more like fails to recognize a stop sign? Check. Merges directly into a semi-truck? Check. Tries to drive into a lake because a shadow confused it? Check. And you know who gets hurt? Pedestrians, cyclists, and regular people just trying to survive in cities designed to cater to these machines. Oh, and let's not forget the charging infrastructure scam. Tesla wants to make sure only Tesla drivers can use their chargers, which means instead of a shared electric vehicle grid, we've got a bunch of walled gardens owned by different corporations, all competing instead of cooperating. Because God forbid, we just collectivize the whole thing and make it actually work for people. So yeah, you want an electric car? Fine. But maybe buy one from a company that isn't run by a union-busting, apartheid emerald mine fail son who somehow convinced millions of tech brothers that he's Tony Stark. The real solution? Invest in public transportation and walkable cities instead of this expensive bullshit. Rory? Maddie? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
That's crazy. I didn't know any of that.
yeah, I think honestly, like that, the AI seems like it's gone. It's kind of sounds like it has the woke mind virus, to be honest. And like,
It honestly does.
yeah,
Where is this coming from, man?
yeah, and I mean, obviously, like on this pod, like when we've talked about Elon,
It
you
seems
know,
like the AI is kind of slagging AI, right?
it's yeah, and it sounds like it's got
Very confusing.
a little woke mind virus thing going on, and like I don't want to like second guess the private equity guys. Obviously they know what they're doing, but like I don't know, to me like that last one just seemed a little woke, and like it, you get woke, you go broke, and I think like this podcast is successful and like we make a lot of money because we're right about this stuff, and like we have the correct opinions on all this stuff. It just, I don't know, it just feels like
It is funny, although, this time I did notice it said something about tech brothers,
Tech
which
Brothers.
I have to wonder if what it actually meant was tech bros. I feel like that would have fit more with the kind of dismissive tone.
Yeah, I consider people in tech to be my brothers. I think like in a spiritual sense, like
Yeah.
we have a lot of the same values and like a lot of the same ability to kind of like connect and interact with people, and like time will vindicate us both in our NFT holdings, and then also like our metaverse stuff is tight. Like our metaverse presence where we record the podcast in the metaverse, like people aren't coming to it now, obviously, but 20 years from now,
nobody else is doing that.
yeah, right. 20 years from now, it'll be like, we'll be like, in the metaverse.
We're so far ahead of the game, and I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's why these private equity guys, I think, came to us because they recognized,
Tech
that,
Brothers,
Tech Brothers, exactly.
Yeah, and I think like, and usually in Mitch, like we kind of got off topic on this one, but like usually we do spend a full hour or so talking about like tech innovations and like how cool they are, and like how smart the guys who make the innovations are. Like, and I think it's just like to be innovative and to think about innovations is such a rare skill, and like, they obviously, the innovators and job creators get paid well, but like there should be no limit to their remuneration as far as like, like money should just be like a small part of the way that they're compensated for thinking of the innovations. You have any innovations, Mitch? Do you ever do innovations?
I don't. When the AI said emeralds, I just kind of started looking on Google about it, but then I got distracted because there's lots of cool pictures of Supersonic with all the Chaos Emeralds. So I was just kind of looking at that. This one's really cool. Look at that. He's like, he turns gold and he gets like really strong. Is that's like innovating, right? He's like, he turns from he turns from regular Sonic into Supersonic. It's really neat.
I don't want to bring it back to your stepdad, but I feel like that's something that if you were like come home tonight and show him on your phone like that picture, be like, this is kind of like where I'm at as far as understanding the world of games and gaming, he'd be like, he'd have to respect it. And I think like again, it's like you're offering to like level him up, like maybe he makes $7.25 an hour. He could, if he knew a little bit more about games and like his manager saw him being a games expert, it's like $7.50 not out of reach, $7.75 not out of reach. You know what I mean? Like, and like that comes back to you too. Like that's like your allowance. The food in your fridge is going to be better like maybe you get different types of pizza or like
I don't
different-
get allowance ever since I was convicted of firebombing the Sephora, which I didn't do.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. You got it. Like if you were helping him level up, like have you showed him the any of the ice bath stuff, like putting your face in the ice bath in the morning or like any of that stuff?
Is that like is that like on the phone?
Yeah. So I think
I'm also
like
not allowed to have a phone.
yeah, I think like a big part of this podcast is like mindset and growth. And
Yeah,
I think
grind
like,
set.
yeah, but it's like you got to live it. You know what I mean? Like it's fun to talk about it, but like you got to be putting your head in the water. You got to be journaling. You got to be up at
Literally,
3:30.
you got to literally be putting your head in the water.
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
you
In the
gotta-
ice bath.
in the
yeah.
ice bath. Yeah, and then like journaling and working out and like doing some push-ups, and then driving a Rolls Royce. Like that stuff that like. That's how we got honestly that's how we got to the point where we have a podcast that's like acquirable, but like that's stuff that you and your stepdad, like I said, like could apply to GameStop, could apply to the beats that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I want to see you shine. Like there's so much potential and there's so much like raw genius and like positive energy like radiating through this microphone right now from you, and I just feel like you got to level up and you got to level your stepdad up and get like you could have a podcast that gets acquired by private equity and you could be replaced by AI. You know what I mean?
Whoa, I never thought about it like that.
That's like,
Could be very lucrative.
yeah, or not, or you could just not have a job because your job got replaced by a robot. But like that's an honor, and like I said, like you are participating in this like miracle of innovation. You could, like I said, you could find yourself doing something that's so valuable that like $1 trillion technology gets applied to taking it away from you.
Dude, preach, man.
You gotta be thinking about that.
Yeah, I gotta be like supersonic. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I gotta be like Master Chief.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta be like Eggman.
Oh yeah, because he's always inventing Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, he's an innovator.
Yeah, he made
And a job
Eggman Land, and he made that big space laser. Well, his grandpa made the big space laser from Sonic Adventure 2, but like he fired it, and he blew up.
He's
the
got all
moon.
those things that he rides around into.
Yeah, and he blows up
Yeah.
the moon. That's like that. No one's done that before.
He employs a bunch of henchmen. Think about it. I mean, that's like,
Yeah, I gotta be like Dr. Eggman. You're right. That's cool. I gotta
Yeah.
think about that.
yeah. But yeah, I just think like you gotta aspire to something better. To be honest, I don't. I know you're helping us out today and filling in, and like, but I just think like you gotta get on it. It's like if it's 10,000, you gotta get at least 20,000.
Damn,
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it
Exactly.
like that.
We do have a last segment here.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, give us what's the robot want to do?
Pull it up here.
All right, we've dumped on modern car culture enough. Let's take a step back and talk about something actually interesting: Soviet automobiles. Now, if you grew up in the capitalist hellscape that is the modern West, you've probably heard that Soviet cars were bad. They were slow. They were ugly. They were government controlled. And yeah, guess what? That was the point. Let's start with the Lada. This car was built for one thing: working class people who just needed a reliable, functional vehicle. It wasn't trying to be flashy. It wasn't designed to impress. It was designed to run, to be easy to repair, and to survive on the absolute worst roads imaginable. And unlike Western cars that cost a year's salary and start falling apart the moment you drive them off the lot, a Lada could last forever with a wrench and some duct tape. Then there's the Trabant, East Germany's favorite car. Sure, it had a 2-stroke engine that sounded like a dying lawnmower, but here's the thing: it was accessible. The government actually subsidized cars to make sure the average worker could afford one. Compare that to capitalism, where the average new car costs over $48,000, and if you can't afford it, enjoy walking on roads with no sidewalks, dodging SUVs, that can't see you over their hood. And let's talk about ZIL limousines, the Soviet answer to Western luxury cars. Unlike the capitalist world, where billionaires hoard wealth while workers can't afford rent, in the USSR, even government luxury was state-owned. ZILs weren't personal status symbols for corrupt oligarchs. They were state vehicles, used by government officials because they were performing a function, not flexing on the masses. The bottom line? Soviet cars weren't built for profit. They weren't designed to maximize corporate shareholder value. They were built to serve people. Did they have flaws? Of course. But guess what? So does every car. The difference is that under capitalism, car manufacturers want their cars to break down, so you have to buy a new one. Under socialism, they were designed to last. So yeah, if I had to choose between a Lada that works forever and a Tesla that locks me out of my own car because the app is down, I sure as shit know which one I'd pick.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, that's just,
I didn't
that's
know
like
any of that.
It's just, well, it's not true. I mean, it's super woke. And I think, like, obviously, we're not
it's
talking
beyond
about
woke, man.
Yeah.
It's like that just seems like treasonous, right?
Yeah, and it didn't mention any of the like crimes that were committed by the Soviets, and like didn't tell like anything. Like, do you know how many like innocent Germans were killed during World War II by the Soviets? And like, you know, a lot of those guys were just trying to go east. You know, just to they were trying to go east to honestly like liberate some of these anti-democratic strongholds in the Soviet Union, and like they just got killed for basically no reason, and like that's not in that at all. And like it just, you know, the whole Soviet evil empire, and like they starved all those people that one time, and it's just like that's not mentioned at all.
But like somehow it's like spouting this kind of like Marxist
ideology.
Like
Yeah.
what even is that?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I would rather have a Lada than like a 59 Chevy or whatever. Like no, of course you would not. We're like you have to walk on the there's no sidewalk. It's like, yeah, because roads are for fucking driving. Okay, like roads are for you to have a big truck and drive as fast as you can, and to go to where you need to go at all times. Like it's not about fucking pedestrians. I'm sorry. Like if you can't afford a car, you should not be out of your house. You should be in your house, or you should be at work, and that's it. Like there's no it's just such a bizarre take on the world to question this system that we have that has been so incredibly generous. Like we have the highest standard of living in America right here in the US, and it's like, does that get mentioned at all? No. You know, like it's baffling. You know what I'm talking about, right, Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Your standard of living, like you live like a king, and you have no worries. You have nothing. You have no stresses.
Yeah, you know, like we don't have like good sidewalks around here, so like I do have to kind of walk on the highway when I'm going to the mall to hang out with Katie. But like, I mean, like I guess it's true. Like maybe sidewalks aren't like super important.
No, I mean it's not even that. I guess my point would be like, if you were on your grind, you would have a truck to drive. If you were smarter and more ambitious, you would have a cool car to drive, and like you'd be talking about horsepower. You'd be talking about vrooming and like beep beep. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't know they made a car that was just like really cheap though. That's like kind of a cool idea.
It's not. It's stupid. Cars are for rich people, and like if you can't afford it, stay home.
Like a car that's cheap.
I mean, it's a way to signal your position.
Exactly.
That's what's so cool about cars.
Yeah.
It's like a status.
It's like having
symbol.
a Rolex, or like diamond rings, or like
just like a sick fit.
Yeah, it's like and that's what cars are about. Like that's really what this podcast is about. Is like it's about telling people the ways in which you're like naturally gifted and smarter and better than them. And like, that's what, you know, if you
Well, I
have,
mean,
like,
this podcast has always been like, it's kind of like for us, by us, you know, like the kind of elite tier
yeah,
of car people, you know,
Yeah.
who kind of get it.
yeah.
But I don't know. That seems like maybe we're going in a different direction under the new
And like I said,
ownership.
I'm not going
I
to
don't
question, like, they had enough money to buy us, so they know, obviously they know
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
what, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and they're obviously,
I mean, it could be like, do you think it's like an op or something? Some kind of some kind of op.
yeah, I mean, I know, like, we've talked about it a bunch, but like people who are like entrepreneurs and like innovators, like they do play eighth dimensional chess, and it's like a lot of times it seems everybody's like, oh, they're stupid, oh, that's dumb, oh, that's gonna wreck the economy. But like in reality, yeah, it may wreck the economy for you, but they're gonna make money and they're still gonna be rich.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, like, but we can't look, like, we're very successful. We're without a doubt, you know, the most successful podcast in the world of any kind. But there are guys who are in private equity and they have a lot of money, so like they're smarter than us, you know, like, and they know, like I said, like a lot of times they're doing moves and they're doing deals that we just like would just baffle us, and it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense, or like, oh, that's a bubble, oh, that $1 trillion investment, there's no way on like even an infinite time scale for you to pay yourself back on that, and it's gonna collapse. It's like, okay, yeah, but
It's kind of like to like a single cell organism. Like, would anything that we do
yeah,
make sense? You know,
yeah, no,
like it would just be looking at us, just going like, what are you even doing? You
They'll be
know?
like,
And I feel like it's kind of the same thing, you know?
yeah, it'd be like, they'd be like, which part is the power plant of the cell, and we'd be like, we have, you know, we have a bunch of cells, like, you know what I mean?
We don't care. We don't
Yeah.
care. We don't have to know.
We don't know. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mitosis.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't do mitosis. We do deals, and we do, you know, like we do acquisitions and stuff. Like, we don't do mitosis. We don't have a power plant of the cell. We have a power plant in our town that the power comes from. So
I mean, the thing is, we do it. We just don't even have to think about it, you know?
yeah, exactly.
It's
it just
like,
comes natural.
it's all, that's just all happening because we have evolved consciousness,
Yep.
right? And
That's crazy.
and that's the difference.
Wait, that's
the
crazy.
difference.
That's crazy.
It is.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Well, and the thing is, and it's like, I mean, the consciousness that we have, I mean, obviously there's degrees and levels of consciousness.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's people like us who are like, you know, higher than most people for sure.
Yeah, 99%. Yeah.
Definitely higher than like a single cell organism.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, you know, you do have like, you know, your kind of, your Peter Thiels, your
Elon
Mark
Musk.
and right. You know, you have those guys, private
Sam
equity guys who are
Altman.
like, obviously like, okay, they're like on a higher plane of consciousness.
Basically,
you know?
like gods.
And
They're
then, right. And then,
Yeah.
and then it's like, and then you have all of this kind of
Yeah.
bringing us to this moment of, what is it called again? The singularity.
Yeah.
Where like, I feel like that then becomes, it's like, now we've achieved where it's like the melding of the human, like the beauty of human consciousness melded to the perfection of the machine, of the computer, of the, you know, and that's when you achieve like the ultimate
Enlightenment.
state of consciousness,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, from our perspective, it's like, even looking at those guys or the kind of the singularity AI, like the decisions that those entities would make for us, they're not going to make sense to us.
No.
But we have to, I mean, it only makes sense that they are for everybody's benefit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, too, it's like, you know, ultimately we may be like, oh, my family's starving because of crop failure. Oh, like, oh, my town is underwater and like there's no sanitation and like all the water we drink has feces in it and like everyone's always sick and dying. But it's like Sam Altman and like Elon and those guys will be like, they will be living like pimps, like total luxury lifestyle, like sick cars, jets, and like they'll have like a bunch of like probably like concubines, I guess, and like be breeding like whatever, like super brain people and
Sure.
like and like that, and like the robots will like whatever, they'll be like making food for them. Like maybe like one of the robots will be like a Michelin star chef. No, it'd be like Bobby Flay and then like Thomas Keller and then like the fat guy from that TV show all together in like one robot, and it can make you like whatever, like it's going to be a cheesesteak or like, oh, I want you know, something like fancy that like I don't even know what it's called, but like what rich people eat. And then it's like they would have that stuff and like a jet. You could have like maybe the guys could just have boots that like they can fly around on or whatever. And like, yes, like again, we will be like, we're successful enough where I think like we will be allowed to live and like you know, survive and like not be like hunted down or whatever. But like people below us obviously not gonna, you know, like not everyone's gonna survive in the future, but we can like play a role in our world, you know what I mean, where it's like you know, like maybe we would find some like canned goods or whatever that aren't expired or whatever, we eat that or whatever, like that's not bad, you know, like that's
well,
not,
I mean, and that doesn't the thing is like none of that stuff ultimately matters. I mean, what matters is that we're all playing a part in advancing advancing humanity to the next level, and I mean, you know, I mean, it's the future, it's progress, it's like it's an arrow that moves in one direction, you know, and it's like you can either go with it or just be left behind, you know.
And it's like whatever, like having enough to eat and like having like a shelter and stuff is not for everybody. It's not like you don't deserve that just because you're a person, you know what I mean? Like
right.
you get that by being a genius, and like you get the bigger houses and like the jets and stuff like by being the smartest guy and like having a better brain and like having like you stand in a way that's really interesting, you know what I mean? Like Elon, like you think about like he has this like posture where he stands in a way that's like really fascinating and like it just captures the imagination, and like it kind of identifies him as just like, you know, like a guy who deserves the things that he gets. He deserves things more than us, you know what I mean? But like we can aspire to serve that, like we can aspire to serve his ultimate ascendancy. And that's what the pod's about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
We celebrate it.
Yeah. And that's like what cars are about too, really, if you think about it.
Damn.
Totally.
Yeah. What do you think, Mitch?
That's crazy. I never thought about it like that.
I know. It's too bad. But I think like this could be the first day of the rest of your life.
Wow.
I mean, it definitely is.
Yeah, one way.
Every day is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But like a better, you know, like.
But you have to treat it that way. Yeah.
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 I bet things will get better once I can finish all my community service and they can sponge my record. That'll be cool.
I mean, honestly, like the judge hears this episode, probably will expunge it.
What's expunge?
It's that's you've been saying. I don't know what it means.
No, it's sponge because they have them on like they've got like a big board, and then when you do all your, they take a sponge and like wipe it off wipe it off the board, and then you don't.
That's
The
what I
conviction's
mean. I think,
gone.
it's like they get rid
That's
of it.
that's what they told me. That's totally they would do. That's what my defense attorney. My defense attorney said
they exit out with a sponge. I think that's the etymology.
They wipe it off
etymological.
De-sponge.
Yeah.
Right.
This might be a good spot to wrap up, and maybe you can go and talk to your stepdad, and kind of.
Maybe we should all hang out.
Yeah.
We should.
Okay.
Yeah. Like with your stepdad, and we can like kind of vibe on some of this stuff.
Yeah, just bro down.
Yeah, brother
Sick.
down.
Yeah, we could brother down. That'd be
Tech
cool.
brothers.
We gotta follow the computer if that's what it says is cool.
Yeah.
We got to brother down.
Well, I will say, like, if we're ending this episode, Peter, it's been awesome having you on the pod, and congratulations on cashing out.
Yeah, I gotta follow up. I texted Maddie about it. I gotta don't.
I'm sure Maddie will be cool about it.
You have so much to live for.
Yeah, Maddie's gonna be normal about it, I think.
Don't.
Maddie will be fine.
I think Maddie's really gonna appreciate the AI version of Peter. Maddie will really like that.
That's a tall building.
Yeah, I mean, Maddie does have kind of, he's got some of those weird politics sometimes. I mean, I think he kind of tries to keep them under wraps around us, but
yeah,
he sent me a picture. What's the vessel? I don't know. I'm sure I'll hear about it later.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I'll keep trying to like obviously I'm not going to let the podcast go woke regardless of what the AI does.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it could turn into kind of like a funny, like maybe the AI is just kind of like serving as like playing kind of devil's advocate, and doing a little,
being like Sun Tzu, being on the attack.
Yeah.
Right. Have a little, kind of friendly antagonism, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will.
That kind of works. That can work in a podcast format.
You'd be like Fox. You do both sides. That's what my mom always says.
I think too. Like, I'm not super worried about it because obviously, like, the libertarian ideas won in the marketplace of ideas globally
Scoreboard.
because they're
Scoreboard.
better. They're better and they're smarter and they make more sense, and that's why they won. So like that is what will happen on this podcast, despite the AI being so charismatic and funny. I'm sure we'll be able to counter it. So
yeah. Well, cool. Well, I mean, I like I say, I mean, it's been an honor and a total pleasure, and I'm so glad that I was able to contribute to something that I guess was just like way more important and meaningful than even I realized, and I mean, I'll definitely, we'll look, man, we'll be in touch, and I'm not going away, but yeah, it's been awesome, and I wish you guys luck, and Mitch, just tell Maddie I said what's up, and that I'll be in touch with him as well, and and to the listeners, thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to. I mean, I'm one of you now. Like I'll be listening to the pod going forward, and I can't wait to hear what the AI version of me brings to it, even if it does strike me as a little wacky out of the gate here, but it could be. It's like I said, it's new. It's a new direction, and it's like I mean these are learning large language learning modules, right? The LLMs, isn't that?
LLM, yeah. Should we do our classic RPM sign off now, Maddie? Mitch, you haven't heard this before probably, but at the end of every podcast, we like to give a big vroom vroom, each of us. That's the classic. So I will say, like, from Rory, vroom vroom, and then Peter will do that,
From Peter.
and then Mitch, you'll do that too.
Yeah, it's your boy signing off. Vroom. Was that
All right.
Nice.
did I do good?
Not great, but
Okay.
that's fine. We'll edit it. Maddie will fix it.
I hope so.
Cool.
Maddie fixes everything.
Thanks for having me on. I think if the judge says he needs you guys to sign something to say that this was educational and I did it. I'll let you know.
Of course.
Thanks.
Of course.
Yeah. We should send him my email or whatever. You can get my contact info from Maddie and yeah, happy to vouch for you and yeah, man, good to meet you, Mitch, and
Cool.
yeah, guess I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
So what did we learn today? Angle grinders make cars easier to steal and harder to own. Teslas are expensive rolling death traps with a cult following. And the Soviet bloc may have had terrible cars, but at least they understood the value of public transit. The real takeaway? Maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't have built the entire world around cars in the first place. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend, preferably one who still thinks their Tesla makes them a genius. Thanks for listening to Tired, the car podcast for people who understand that cars are bad. Until next time, stay safe, stay skeptical, and maybe just take the train. And oh yeah, stay tired.